everyone, this is a series of ideas on how to create remote lectures via Zoom, a conference video software. The topic for today is how to use an iPad to replace a whiteboard when you're doing a remote lecture via Zoom. So the idea is I'm going to use an iPad to join a Zoom meeting that I created for one of my classes. And then I'm going to share that iPad screen in order to write on a pre-typed PDF lecture notes, or I can write on a safe image created by desmos.com if I need some visualizations. All right, let's go to the meeting. First, I'm using my laptop to create a Zoom meeting. Once I have a meeting set up, I can start this meeting. Once the meeting started, I can join this meeting using my iPad. It will take a few seconds to join. And you can see it. And when you join your meeting using an iPad with the intentions of just write on the iPad, you should join without audio to avoid feedback. Now you can see that I have two participants here. One is me, the host, and another one is iPad. Now I can share my iPad screen using the share content button and click on the screen and then start broadcast. Take 3 seconds to see the screen. All right. Now I can go to the PDF lecture notes that I created for the class. For an examples, this is lecture notes on derivative test. So having a pre-typed lecture note saves a lot of time in writing. When you can talk about ideas about the first and the second derivative test, and then once you need to work on an example, you can use this iPad. All right. So if you want to find the first and the second derivative of the functions in order to locate local extrema, then first you have to find the first derivative. And the first derivative of this function is, let's say, it's the x, and then you can factor either x out, and then you can set it equal to 0 to find critical point. So we found that x equals to -1 is the only critical point. Right. And now if you want to graph these functions, or the first derivative functions or the second derivative functions, you can use desmos.com to graph the functions. Usually I graph those functions in advance and I copy the link, paste it here, so then I can just go to the pre-made functions. Copy it. And then here's the three functions: f of x, f prime of x, f double prime of x. And if you want to use this image to illustrate your solutions or your ideas, you can save this image. Following steps. First, I want to change this to the projector mode because it makes the graph better. And then I can share it, export image. I use the thick line, and I can type on this image for 3 seconds, and I can use save image. And this image is saved in your photos. Go to photos, find this image right here. Okay. If you want to write on this image, click edit and look at these 3 dots in the bottom and tap on markup. And using markup, you see that you have multiple colors, have pen, pencils, eraser, so on and so forth. So I want to use maybe yellow just to be different, right? So as we just found that x equals to -1 is the critical point, so that makes sense that this is And look at the graph. This is the local minimum. Okay. And then you can say that, look at this first derivative graph. The local minimum is also the zeros of the first derivative graph, and so on and so forth. So you can write note on this image. Okay, once you're done, hit the done button. Done, so it's saved. All your notes are saved there. And also, you can share this image to your email. You can share it with different locations, right? You can save it and then share it. Because I'm using iMac, so I'm gonna share it with my iMac. And then accept it. Save it to downloads. The reason why I want to share it because you can share this to your students in Zoom. Okay. Now if I'm done with the lectures, I want to stop sharing my screen, and it goes back to the main screen. And in the main screen, if you want to share the image with students, you can click on the chat functions here. Then you can see the files. You can upload that image to the chat room, and then your student can download the image, or they can look at the image later if they want to. Alright, so again, this video shows you how to use an iPad to replace a whiteboard when you have to do a remote lecture. And also, this is how you can use decimals for visualizations.